fellas and fella S's of the YTPC. You join me in a pretty cool place today. This is Crawford Priory. 18th century, originally built by George Lindsay Crawford. Originally as a hunting lodge. It wasn't as extravagant as this. Subsequently his daughter, in the 19th century I believe, put the renovations and the extensions on it and stuff and gave it a more gothic kind of architectural feel. A lot of similarities with a lot of different kind of cathedrals and gothic cathedrals and stuff like that throughout the British Isles and Europe. You can see the kind of conicals on the pinnacles and stuff, on the uprights. A lot of cool symbolism, especially in around these arches here, the faces. It almost looks quite ethereal with the growth on it. It's almost given a kind of, I don't know, a Gondor or even a Rivendell kind of feel here. So yeah, pretty cool place. There's a lot of little hidden gems clearly in Scotland and in Fife actually. This is about a mile and a half southwest of a little town called Cooper, and yeah, as I say, I didn't even realise this was here until about maybe a year or so ago, to be honest. But it just shows you some of the history that was around, and yeah, very cool place. Anyway, I hope yous are well. Today, in my pipe at the Priory, I'm smoking my other Savinelli. My Savinelli Vigna 128. As you can see there. Beautiful standard straight kind of billiard pipe with the kind of marbled red and wine and white stem with a little kind of brass ring insert going into the shank. Beautiful. Today I'm actually smoking in it the Deluxe Mixture by Peterson. This Savinelli is pretty much dedicated to aromatics, and predominantly those with a kind of vanilla, nutty, caramelly kind of profile. I think I have had the cherry vanilla from Galworth Hogarth, I think I'm saying that right, in it a few times. Never really had, as I say, much ghosting, but yeah, this is kind of predominantly my aromatic pipe. So I'll get her fired up now. I've not actually smoked an aromatic in a little while. I started off smoking, I bought a few different aromatics to sample, as well as an early morning pipe, and really liked them to begin with. I still do, to be fair. I think just as I'm trying different tobaccos, I'm appreciating the taste of the natural leaf. Some aromatics I have went off, but I do get along pretty well with this Deluxe Mixture. It's not a very strong in your face aromatic. It's not heavily cased. I mean, it has got toppings of vanilla, walnut and honey. I love honey. I have Manuka honey in my tea, coffee, everything. Walnut, really nice kind of nutty flavour at the back of it. Again, it's not too strong, it's quite subtle. It's just, you get hints of it through the bowl sometimes, which is nice. I've got to say though, as you do get down the bowl, sometimes it can take on that kind of chemically taste, which is quite common with aromatics. But again, nice tasting dessert aromatic, or used to have it in the morning again with my coffee. Goes very well with the coffee, that kind of sweetness and the bitterness of the coffee, which I have got with me again, so I'll be having one in a little second. But yeah, I've got a few mentions and thanks to give to some of the viewers and some of the other members of the YTPC. First and foremost, I just want to thank everyone who's subscribed, commented, liked the videos and watched them, taking the time to watch them. It's quite surreal when you get messages, you know, such as, you know, love watching your video, you know, really creative, you know, you're going to do good things and stuff like that. And yeah, that's really inspiring. I mean, you know, I never picked up the camera to do this, not even for YouTube to begin with, to be honest. Never mind to gain a following. But yeah, it's really, I think, what kind of gets my creative juices going, if you like. Some people like photography. I kind of like to try and tell a bit of a story, try and put something together in video format, and I'm enjoying the editing process, playing about with things. It is a bit of a head scratcher, so yeah, as I say, bear with me. I'm even still getting used to the settings on the camera. I don't know how this is turning out. This is shot at 24 frames per second. It is just an iPhone. You know, I've played about with it at 30 frames per second, you know, Ultra HD and just normal HD, but I am saving up. I'm looking to get a camera and like an action cam type thing, so as I say, all in good time. These things cost money, and you know, we will eventually get there, but I've got one in mind that I'm looking at. It's a Sony mirrorless camera, and it's second hand, but you can pick up pretty decent, you know, second hand cameras in good condition, little used, at a reasonable cost. I say reasonable, but more than what I've got at the moment. But anyway, by the by, I as I say, coming back to my kind of words of thanks, the first guy that gave me a mention on his channel, I believe, was Porch Piper Tom. So I didn't actually see the notification at the time. As I say, I'm just getting used to YouTube Studio. I didn't even realise I had a notification that I had a mention. It was actually a comment by, I think it's Alistair from Rambling Piper, that had mentioned Porch Piper Tom, sent them my way. So it's a kind of double thanks in that regard. Thanks to Alistair from Rambling Piper for watching, commenting and letting me know that Porch Piper Tom had given me a mention. Yeah, really appreciate that. I've watched a few of Rambling Piper's videos, so pretty cool when you see other creators, you know, watching and commenting and stuff like that. Also, Main Northwoods Piper, I think it's Jason, and do forgive me if I do get any of these names wrong. I, you know, do watch different channels, and obviously when the channel name, like myself, is not, you know, your actual name, I'm just kind of trying to get to grips with everybody. So yeah, Main Northwoods Piper, again, thanks for the mention in the video. I really appreciate it. These guys, you know, they've got a great little corner in YouTube. I like watching his videos. It's a cosy kind of story time edition, and it's really cool just to sit with a pipe and a coffee or a beer at night, and you know, and watch and listen to the stories and the talks, as I say, by Rambling Piper and Porch Piper Tom. One other guy I definitely need to mention is Old Man Copper. I appreciate you commenting and your words of advice, your words of encouragement as well. I really appreciate that. I really resonate with this guy's channel in a sense that the messages that he puts out is not only somewhat words of wisdom based on life experience, but positive messages with no fluff that, I think, I say a lot of young guys, but anybody, male, female, old, young, but certainly for, some younger guys like myself, it's some good words of advice and good lessons there to be learned on how to, not how to live your life, but a little bit of perspective. Also based on the fact he was a firefighter for 20 or 30 years and has implemented some of these ways of looking at things when that in that very moment could literally mean life or death. So I just want to say a big thanks to old man Copper as well. And to be honest, there's that many. I do not mean to miss anybody out, obviously. Can't really mention everybody, but there's other chaps that have given me some good comments. I've had some good conversations with in the comments, and if any of you wanted to chat kind of some more or a little bit deeper, then as I say, I've put an email address in the channel description, and I'm definitely open to talking some more, getting to know the community, maybe possibly meeting up. I was just informed that there's a pipe show in, is it Nottingham, near the end of September in the UK. I didn't even realise there was one. I knew there's a few in the States. I've never been to the States. I would like to go to the States, and I thought, well, do you know what, maybe next year or something I could, get the funds together and come over for a pipe show, and even if it's only for 5 or 6 days or something like that, and meet some of you guys. But definitely going to attend a kind of a home event first, and hopefully meet up and chat, have a beer, have a bite, a bowl, and a bite to eat as well. And just have a good blether with the guys that share similar interests and stuff. So I don't mean to ramble on this video, to be honest. I think I've done a little bit of that. Really, this video is, again, just to show you a little bit of the history around my area, my little pocket of the world. Hopefully, as the channel and the videos continue, I can show you Scotland, a little bit broader. There's plenty of places I've been camping and fishing and stuff like that, over the years that I would like to revisit and bring you guys along. And there's some cracking places. Very lucky for this little isle, for this little part of the island even. There's some amazing country to see, some big country, up north and stuff like that in the Highlands, and on the west coast. And even on some of the isles off the west coast, some of them you would not think you were in Scotland. You would literally think you were probably off the coast of the Caribbean or something like that, given that it's fucking freezing in Scotland. Excuse the French, but yeah, it's a cool place, and hopefully I can show you guys as much of it as possible. And hopefully you enjoy the little bit I've knocked together on, Crawford Priory. It's a cool place. It's unfortunate that no one has came and tried to buy or rebuild or at least stabilise this place, because it's such a thing of beauty. It would be sad to see this crumble to further ruin. It just shows you how well things were made in the past. That's one thing that kind of strikes me here, that, you know, the thought and the depth, and even the carvings and stuff like that, the time that it had taken to build these things, I think is just a tribute to probably skills that we're losing, skills that are, you know, fleeting us. I mean, there are some local stonemasons around this area who do some good work, but I mean, I dare say it's just a chip off the old block for you know, some of the guys that have came before us. It almost relates directly into this fast-paced life that, you know, we find ourselves in. It's as quick as we can get things done, you know, throw up the buildings, I want my fast food right now, here and then. There's no delayed gratification for nothing, and the more that it goes on like that, you know, I suppose at the end of the day it comes down to that, doesn't it? I mean, they probably couldn't even afford to build something like this or take the time to you know, I mean, how much would this cost if it took, you know, 10 years or something to build this? Nowadays, you know, you would want something even of this size. God, they knock it up in no time at all. You know, even the houses that are built now, I've got an old neighbour beside me, and he just says it's glorified dog kennels, basically. And it is. I mean, they've knocked the kit up in a day or two, and yeah. It's a shame. There's got to be a balance. I know, I understand we've got to move forward. There's a technological aspect of kind of evolving and moving to the next step. And hey, I'm all for that. You know, we can use that as a tool, as long as it's used as a tool and not the forefront of, you know, how we identify ourselves, because a lot of old skill sets, you know, are kind of lost. And yeah, I think that's why I like getting out and camping and getting back to nature and slowing things down. It just reconnects you with that archaic DNA in you, for want of better words. You know, something that's been there for thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of years, you know. So anyway, that's a kind of ramble in this video, but I hope you are all well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Keep it smoky. Just the detail, I mean, look at that. I mean, one mistake, and then what, you know, it's a one piece. It's almost, you know, some of this certainly is a one piece block. The margin for error certainly was a lot lower. Not many things just being attached on, you know, things are carved out of the block work. Even those pinnacles, one piece pinnacle, it almost looks like the tops of Angkor Wat in Indonesia, I believe. Although, I think if you look back to the Pagan Pipe video at Dunino Den, you would see the same sort of pinnacles on that church. So again, some connection there. It'd be interesting to take a kind of dive and see what that was symbolic of or represented. Bit of the sun coming out.
In Fife's deep wood where shadows lie, a pale stone dream greets the sky. Turrets once proud with pinnacles high, now whispers to clouds drifting by. Born as a lodge for a noble name, then shaped like a priory in Gothic flame. Its halls once rang with music and light, glass and banners and candlelit night. Lady Mary walked its silent floor, keeper of beasts and forgotten lore. Her chapel-like halls and painted glass held echoes of centuries passing fast. But time grew heavy on stone and beam, By 1968 it slept like a dream. Now roofless towers and ivy-clad walls guard only wind through empty long halls. Yet still it stands in woodland deep, a Gothic memory the centuries keep. Crawford Priory fading yet grand, a ghost of history carved in the land.